Alright guys, so let's pick up where we left off. So again, we want to write an equation in slope-intercept form that passes through these 2 points. Okay, so first things first, we need to find the slope of the 2 points. So I always make my xy table. If you choose to use the formula, that's totally fine. My first point is -7, -3. My second point is -12, 5. Okay, so my change in y is +8. My change in x is -5. All right, so my m is going to be my change in y over my change in x, which in this case is 8 over -5. So I have my first part. All right, now, like we talked about in the first problem, okay, we were given the y-intercept. We had a point where x was equal to 0, right? For these 2 points, we don't have that. So that means we need to figure out how to find our b, all right? And if you look at slope-intercept form, all right, notice how there is a y and there is an x. So we could use one of these points, all right, to solve for b. And what I mean by that is, say I take the point -12, 5. I have an x and I have a y. Okay, I can take those 2 points and plug them into y equals mx plus b. So I could rewrite this as, if this was y equals mx plus b, my y value is now 5 equals, now my m is -8 over 5, and my x is -12 plus b. So notice how we filled in every other value but b, and that'll allow me to solve, right? So if I do a little math here, so we have to multiply fractions. So I have 5 is equal to, I'm going to write this over here in purple. All right, multiplying fractions. I know it's your guys' favorite. So I have -8 over 5, okay, times -12 over 1. If I multiply straight across, all right, 8 times 12 gives me 96 over 5. Okay, negative times a negative is a positive. And I'm left with 96 over 5. All right, so 5 is equal to 96 over 5 plus b. All right, and then in order to get b by itself, okay, I just want to subtract 96 over 5 from both sides. Okay, now I have 5 minus 96 over 5 on this left side here. I can't subtract fractions unless I have a common denominator. So 5 over 1, in order to get that denominator of 5, I need to multiply top and bottom by 5. So that gives me 25 over 5 minus 96 over 5. All right, and 25 minus 96 is going to give me, let's see, 25 minus 96. -71 over 5. This is not a fun problem. All right. And that would be my b value. All right. So my b would be equal to -71 over 5, which means I have an m of -8 over 5 or 8 over -5, and I have a b. So I take those two values. I'll write it in blue. All right. And I plug it in. So I have y equals 8 over -5x minus 71 over 5. That was a messy problem, okay? It dealt with fractions and it dealt with negatives. So not everyone's going to be that difficult, okay? But let's just talk about what I did in that problem generally. So the first things first, over here, I found my slope, okay? Once I found my slope, since I wasn't given my y-intercept as a coordinate, I had to work to find my b, which meant that I took one of the points and I plugged it in. So I chose -12, 5. You could choose the other point if you want. All right, and I substituted my -12 in for x. and I substituted my 5 in for y, and then I also inputted my slope here. That meant that I had every value except b, which is what I wanted to work to find. So after I plugged everything in, I got b by itself, which gave me negative 71 over 5, and then I plugged it back into the equation. I know, it's a lot of steps, All right, so let's just go through that one more time. Okay, so I'm asked again to find an equation in slope-intercept form that passes through these 2 points. All right, so first things first, we want to find our slope. So I'm just going to make my xy table. I have negative 6, 5, and I have 1, 0. So it looks like my change in y is minus 5. And it looks like my change in x is plus 7. All right. So my slope is my change in y over my change in x, which is negative 5 over 7. Now again, neither one of my points here have x as 0, right? So I can't use either of those to plug in for my b. But what I can do is choose one of the points and substitute my x and y into my equation y equals mx plus b to work backwards to solve. All right, so I'm going to choose the point 1, 0, just because working with zeros is easier. So this is going to be my x and my y. So that becomes 0 is equal to my m is negative 5 over 7. My x is 1 plus b. Again, b is the value I'm solving for. Well, oops. All right. Negative 5 over 7 times 1 is just negative 5 over 7 plus b. And then in order to get b by itself, I'm going to add the 5 over 7 to the other side. Okay. And that means that my b value is positive 5 over 7. So now I have my m and I have my b, and I'm just going to plug it in. So y equals negative 5 over 7x plus 5 over 7. All right. So I know that was a lot of steps. Okay, I'm not going to have you do any of those on your own. I just wanted you guys to be able to see how to do it. We will have a couple problems like that on the review, so you guys get to practice that and ask questions before a quiz or a test. All right, but that's it for slope intercept. So I hope you guys are staying well and have a great day.